Well, thank you so much, Alvin. Great to be here. Great to be talking about this topic of getting to the why. And that involves diagnostic analytics, something you don't hear as much about. We hear about descriptive, we hear a lot about predictive. We're going to hear a little bit more about that when we discuss augmented capabilities, but really important starting point here is getting to and understanding the whys behind the what is happening in your business. And then we're also going to be talking about best practices. Technology is great, but it won't be as effective if your organization isn't harnessing those technologies effectively, and collaboration is crucial to that capability. So diving in just quickly before we get into the topic, I'll tell you a little bit about Constellation Research. We're an 11-year-old tech analysis firm based in Silicon Valley, and we focus totally on what market-leading companies are doing. These are the innovators. These are the digital disruptors. These are the companies that are harnessing technology to differentiate their business. And this might be 5% of companies out there, but we do a lot of research on them. We have our Supernova Awards, case study awards program. We have a BT 150, Business Transformation 150 leaders. We're learning from these people all the time. We try to share that with the companies that want to be fast followers. This might be the next 20% of companies who want to do just that. They want to follow quickly behind. They don't want to get disrupted, but nor do they want to hit some of the potholes and roadblocks encountered by those market leaders as they embrace new technologies. And when we look at technologies, we do so through the lens of our Astro Chart. As you see here on that vertical axis, you see organizational adoption from mainstream to early adopter to bleeding edge. And on the horizontal axis, business impact from incremental to transformational to exponential. So in the top right, you see general artificial intelligence, machines that can think. It's almost science fiction. Certainly has exponential potential to change our businesses, but it's out there. And then at the bottom left, things that have been there that are used by most everybody: data warehousing, business intelligence, analytics, widely used. So therefore less of an opportunity to really be differentiating. But if we look at that sweet spot in the middle, these emerging technologies, some of which we're going to be talking about today: diagnostic analytics, augmented analytics, machine learning, prescriptive. This is the realm we're getting into, and this is where the market-leading companies and the fast followers are making a difference. So today we're going to talk about those whys and the diagnostic analytics and how that can change your understanding of what's going on in your business. Then we're going to go talk about getting beyond the self-service era we've been in. And largely that's happening through new augmented capabilities, meaning computer augmented capabilities. And then finally, we'll get to that topic of collaboration, modern best practices, and why those are so important. So digging into that, getting to the why and diagnostic analytics, you've heard all about the things on the bracketing this year. Descriptive analytics, what happened? That's the business reporting, data visualization, dashboards, identifying the problems, identifying opportunities. You've heard a lot about predictive. This is, everybody's sweet spot. They want to know what's going to happen. They want to look forward and, get rid of that rear view mirror or complement that rear view mirror with some foresight. Everybody wants that. We're seeing some capabilities emerge. We'll talk about that when we get to the augmented analytics section. Underplayed and not too often talked about is the diagnostic. Why did something happen? Why is it changing? And to get to that why, you need some enablers like granular data, root cause analysis features, some of which are merging with the augmented wave of capabilities coming on. Key driver analysis, another one, emerging often with these augmented capabilities. And that helps us get to the causes of what's happening and the remedies that we might be able to put in place. The question is, are these capabilities in your analytics and BI platform, or aren't they? And if they are there, maybe you're not making use of them. Maybe they're not very well exposed, or maybe it's something that has to be part of a workflow, a process, and you're really not sure or familiar with how to use it. But we're talking about closing that gap. And to close that gap, you got to start with some granular data. And the reason why diagnostic might not have gotten as much attention is those first and generation BI and analytics platforms weren't always able to get to that granular data. They couldn't handle that scale. So you're often dealing with summaries and aggregates because of the constraints of the technologies back when, the storage and the compute just wasn't up to handling data at scale. And, the challenges have kept evolving. We've heard all about big data. We've heard about the data lake platforms, the high scale, petabyte league data warehouses. So the challenge continues, even though the technologies have progressed. But there are products that are able to get now down to the root cause details. And it's all about identifying those root causes and trying to understand what's going on. And it might not be something that's necessarily bad. It could be, something that's a desirable outcome, and we want to make it repeatable. So the idea is to get down to the details and access that raw data, or even closer to what really happened data. There's some challenges in that in terms of, well, we got to be careful about personally identifiable information. Some banks and whatnot won't even put that into a BI and analytics system, but there's plenty of cases where granular detail from your manufacturing plant or your network or your distribution chain, we want to be able to get to these details to understand what's going on, what's causing a problem, and what is something that might be good that we want to replicate. So then once we have that data available, we can start to use root cause features. Again, some of these are coming along with augmented capabilities that are emerging. But the idea is to track down what was behind that exception. So we see the symptom, but what's underneath it. And again, it could be good or bad. It's something we want to fix or compensate for, or something we want to repeat. And these features are about helping us do that. Now, key driver analysis, might not be in the context of an exception, but we want to see if we're looking at a particular aspect of performance, we want to know all the things that really impact. What are the drivers of that performance? So maybe we did have a problem and we want to, maybe we can't do anything about one aspect of the performance, but we want to know all the other drivers that we might be able to help influence or change an outcome. So this is help us identify ways to overcome a sales problem, overcome a profitability problem, understand, maybe changing suppliers that improve our profitability, accentuating certain regions, shipping products that aren't selling in one region to another region. We want to be able to explore, look at the key drivers, and understand all the ways we should consider that might influence what's going on. And with that, I thought I'd bring Chris into the conversation. I know Chris, you at Tellius have been working on these diagnostic capabilities. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how customers are using them and how they're going from what happened to why.